Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Before start my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Yunita Indah. I am from class X4G. Okay, I'd like to give a presentation about the nature of teaching and learning. Okay, I will begin by explaining the definition about the nature of teaching. The nature of teaching is an effort to transform or teach other people, namely students, so that they become people who are knowledgeable, able to know and proficient in subjects and other things, and reciprocal relationship between students and teachers and between fellow students in the learning process. From experience, I know that this teaching stage is all the process that we start from the beginning to understand students. For example, in teaching reading, we will start with the initial stage, namely introducing letters first to students and even then little by little depending on their understanding. When in teaching, we are also required to manage our emotion to do the teaching because the power of understanding of each student is different. In the teaching process, we will focus on conveying information from educators to students in directed and conceptualized activities. For example, materials, direction and purpose, and material function. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. In this slide is the nature of learning. The nature of learning is a process of changing oneself from not knowing to knowing, from not being able, to from being unskilled to being skilled and proficient. In my experience, this learning process is a long process. We need a good focus to understand what is being taught by the educator. Now, the way to make it easier for me to easily understand and remember the lesson that I like is to over repeat the things that have been taught. Nature of learning. In general, the term learning is interpreted as an activity that results in a change in behavior. With this understanding, learning can be interpreted as an activity carried out by the teacher in such a way that the behavior of students changes in a better direction. So, this learning is the accumulation of two things, learn and teaching, and which involves educators, students, and learning media, which centers on the process of interaction of students with educators and learning research in a learning environment. Okay, in this slide is, in this case, learning has a goal, namely to be better at understanding from not knowing to knowing. For example, point 1 is in terms of managing emotion towards other people when something is out of our control. Point number 2 is attitude, like how when we talk to parents and talk to the same age. Point 3 is interaction. Our interaction with conversation or in discussion with other people. Point number 4 is personality. So we can understand what kind of personality we want and lead us in a positive direction. And the last point is number 5, self-development. Now in learning we can find out what kind of self-development we want and which steps we will take. We have made sure if we want ourselves to development. Okay, that's all my presentation and material about the nature of teaching and learning. Okay, before I'm close the presentation, I'm apologize for the mistakes and the same of the material. I get the reference from the following link. Okay guys, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.